Welcome to Rocksolid Productions, where in this video we are going to unbox the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Gary here with Rocksolid Productions. Now before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, I just want to take a second and say thank you for stopping by and checking out our unboxing here of the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. If you like what you see here, I invite you to check out some of our other videos on the channel. And if you really like what you see here, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell notification. That way you are kept up to date each and every time we do upload new content. And let me know what is your favorite TurboGrafx 16 game of all time. So back in January 2020, I picked up this guy here. This is an actual TurboGrafx 16. I got that from Show Me Retro at the Mo GameCon Jr. before this whole virus thing hit. And when that virus thing did hit, it delayed the launch in the States of the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. But how do I have one? I've got one thanks to my good friend John Riggs. And if you haven't followed Riggs before, check him out. If you like what I do, you're going to love the stuff that John does. Awesome channel, good friend too. So John shared in one of his videos that you could actually order these from the Amazon Japanese site, have it shipped here to the US, and I did exactly that. It took about 5 or 6 days for it to get here, and here it is in my my grubby little paws here. So what we're going to do, we're going to take it, this is strictly an unboxing, so we're going to take this, we're going to throw it on the bench, we're going to see how it comes out of the box, and we're going to check just the overall fitment, the features, the size, the styling, how well did they do aesthetically compared to the original. Let's hit the bench. So here we have the box itself, which, I mean, quite honestly, Konami, who now owns the rights to the TurboGrafx franchise, they knocked it out of the ballpark. This thing looks legit as can be. Now one thing that is different is I don't remember an ESRB rating on the original box. I think that the original one was out before the ESRB was a thing. You know, again, great graphics on the front, nothing really major on the side here. So looking at the list of games on the back, this is pretty much what makes or breaks the system. So we have Alien Crush, Blazing Lasers, Dungeon Explorer, Moto Rotor, Power Golf, R-Type, Victory Run. We have Chu Man Fu, JJ and Jeff. Back over here, Military Madness, Newtopia, Ninja Spirit, Psychosis, Space Harrier, Splatterhouse, Yee's Book 1 and 2, Bonk's Revenge, Cat Ash, Parasol Stars, Air Zonk, Newtopia 2, New Adventure Island, Soldier Blade, Bomberman 93, Lords of Thunder, but then there's also a huge list of PC Engine games, the Kung Fu, Jaskin Necromancer, Galaga 88, Fantasy Zone, Dragon Spirit. There's just a ton of great games in here. Now the one thing that I'm kind of a little surprised by is the fact that Bonk's Revenge is here, but then it's the PC Engine version of the original Bonk down here. So kind of interesting on here. Interesting too, Hori Co. Limited. I'm wondering what Hori has to do with any of this, if they're partnered in with Konami, but that's interesting to note. Now we do have a flap on this side here of the box. Nothing on this side, so we're going to actually open this side. Just, I don't want to damage the box because it looks awesome. And again, huge props to Riggs for helping me out to get this. So here you have just everything's in like that styrofoam type padding. I think this is a controller. Now I will admit, I have never held a TurboGrafx controller before. It feels like a round NES controller, really. Feels decent, quite honestly. It does feel light though, I will say that. Is just like all the other mini systems, it feels light. You have your turbo buttons up top here, or your slide switches actually, select and run. D-pad feels small, but again, I've never held one of these before. And I know I'll probably get criticized in the comments, it's this guy who's never held a TurboGrafx doing unboxing. I'm one of the target people for this thing. I never had a chance to own one of these, and the fact that I can now get one, I'm excited for it. Now, one thing I am interested to see here too, the fact that this is a USB connector on the controller. I'm wondering if you can use like any of the wireless controllers from Retrobit or Retro Fighters, as far as the the Tribute 64 or the Brawler 64, or, you know, any of the Genesis or Saturn USB controllers. Heck, even the PlayStation Classic controller, I wonder if it would work with this system. I did set the manual aside there. This is actually bigger than I thought it would be. Now, before we look at the system, we're going to just look in the box here too. It does have an HDMI cable, and then looks like a micro USB power cord. So we'll set the rest of the box aside for now. Let's check out this system, because I am just super excited for this. You guys are going to hear me say it again. Thank you, John Riggs. Oh, that thing is awesome looking. It looks great. Now on the original one, this slid off and you could put on other attachments on the back. You do have what looks like the Hue card slot right here. You know, they've done such a great job. And you've got your USB ports right here for controller 1, controller 2. They are not labeled though, if you look closely. So there is no labeling here for controller 1, controller 2. So that's a little disappointing to see. There is no LED for power. Just if you flip it over to one side or the other, it reveals a little bit of paint there, kind of like on the original. And it actually has the little tab that slides in to hold the Hue card in place, like on the original too. That's an interesting touch. On the back, now that's normally where the AV port would come out, which that's where the HDMI comes out of. There you can see it right there. Does this slide off? So with that back cover off, you've got your HDMI port right there. And then underneath right here, there is the micro USB power. So you pretty much have to take this off to be able just to get the power. Okay, well, I didn't read the instructions, so there is that. So how does it look compared to the original? So a couple of things first and foremost. Now it still has the antenna switch, channel 3, 4. That's, you know, the same as what it has on here. TurboGrafx 16, that's spot on. Power, spot on. It still says pad here, like it does here. Now one interesting thing that is missing, the NEC logo that is on the original. Now granted, they have bought the rights from NEC for this, but the fact that they didn't put anything up in this corner of the system, I'm actually a little bit surprised that they didn't do anything there. Now on the original, you did only have one controller port, so there was no need to label it controller 1, controller 2. I kind of understand that. And then with the cover removed, it does say AC adapter here, just like it does there. I would say that Konami has done a pretty darn good job mimicking what the original looked like. Let's wrap it up. So let's take you through the setup screen a little bit here too. You've got a number of different languages. We will hit English. And that's basically all that there is to it. We'll go through and just look at the different menus that we have here. Settings, let's check by settings. Display settings, you can do 4:3. It looks like there's nothing that really mentions what you're looking at here. Oh, that's cool. That gives you a Turbo Duo option too. So it looks like that's 4:3. That may be pixel perfect, or maybe that one is 16:9. If you use the run button, it'll give you a CRT filter. Wallpaper, so you can decide what you want for a background on here. Menu design, you can have it look like the PC Core graphics, the PC Engine. You know, we'll do the PC Engine. Core Graphics. PC Engine. Return to main menu. There's Bonk's Revenge. Oh, these are awesome looking. I really cannot wait to play New Adventure Island. Sort by release date, sort A to Z. Wait a second here. I'm glad that I looked at the menu. So if you go over to the right, you can select console. There we go. So that's what I wanted. Okay, awesome. I kind of wish they would have had just everything on one menu, but I understand why they kind of separated them, but not entirely. Oh, I can't. Bonks is awesome. Super Darius should be cool. Where is it? Where's Dracula? There's Dracula X Rondo of Blood. That's another one I can't wait to play. Overall, very, very excited for this. So Konami, you've done a really nice job so far. We will do a full-blown review on this yet coming up. For someone who's never used a turbo pad before, pretty comfortable. No major concerns about that. I do like the fact that, obviously it has the turbo buttons right on it too. They nailed this as far as the aesthetics goes. If you were even a casual fan of the TurboGrafx, there's a lot here for you to fall in love with just from the way that it looks. I can't wait to play more. Well, I can't wait to play. I haven't played it at all yet. One thing I did forget to mention, the controller cable, about 10 feet long on this. So you do have a nice long controller cable. They've learned from everybody's mistakes that they had with the NES Classic Edition. 10 foot, the bare minimum you should go with. And this, it feels good. It feels light, but I would say no lighter than what the NES Classic or Super NES Classics did on there too. Oh, and it just went into the screensaver. So, are you looking at picking one of these up? Have you picked one of these up? Have you had one imported in yet? Let me know down in the comments. I also want to know, like I said at the top of this video, what is your favorite TurboGrafx game of all time? I have a lot of games that I'm looking forward to play. I have never played Rondo of Blood. I'm looking forward to playing that. I've played Bonks for the NES, but I've never played a TurboGrafx. So I'm just super excited about all this on here. It's got a great collection of games, and even the stuff that I'm not interested in, there's enough else here to keep me interested as well. So one other final thing too, the top controller port is player 1. That is the thing I found out on here. That thing, God, for a hybrid 8-bit, 16-bit system, that actually looks, the backgrounds look pretty good. It almost looks, reminds me of Mortal Kombat a little bit. Anyways, again, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section for me. Also, if you have any other questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at RockSolid Studios. You can visit us over on our Facebook page at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions, Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK, and then, as always, you can always email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. If you want to help support the channel, you can do so in a couple of different ways. So we can do things like get new microphones, order a TurboGrafx 16 Mini to do unboxings with, get new lights here for in the studio. You can do so in a couple of different ways. First and foremost, head on over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, 12 bucks a year, you get early access to all of our video content, exclusive content and goodies, and a whole lot more. Do me a favor too, head on over to John Rigg's Patreon as well. Let him know how awesome he is. And again, thanks John for giving me the heads up on this. You can also head on over to our Teespring store where we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, and more, all featuring the RockSolid Productions logo on different retro cartridges. I think I'll probably have to design one now with a Hue card kind of look to it now too moving forward. And like I mentioned at the top of this video, if you like what you see here, if you want to see more, please hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell notification, and let me know what you think about what we're doing here. I am super excited to play this. The thing that's kind of weird is I played Bonks on the Famicom and on my NES using my 60 to 72 pin adapter. But there's just something about this to play it on actual TurboGrafx hardware with a turbo pad that just makes it so cool. I'm excited about it. I hope you can tell. I'm actually really, really excited about this. I am Gary. This has been RockSolid Productions and our unboxing of the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. I thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you next time.